I almost forgot I had to put us all back in.
I've done that. I've done that. Yeah. The last test your might stream with Matt. I was like halfway through the things. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta bring us in. Forgot about it.
So what up, party people? How's it going?
Hey, going well.
It's Saturday night.
Happy
Ah,
Saturday.
feels like it's Sunday.
Does it?
Ah,
Nah,
it does.
it's
It does to
Saturday.
me. This is what happens when I work on Saturday mornings. I always feel like it's Sunday. Like I have to go into work. I don't know. It's just weird every time. Never fails. Yeah, but I'm happy it's Saturday because I'm off tomorrow. Then.
That's good.
Oh,
Yeah. How are y'all doing?
I'm awesome. Have you been on Twitter today, Jason?
I was on Twitter to Shane said he tweeted out something, so I retweeted that, and then I did something else on there, but no, I really haven't been on Twitter. Why? What's up?
So, you guys, sex rules for wives is trending. Have y'all seen this?
No.
Six of them.
No, there's
Too,
10 of them apparently.
there's 10 rules.
Yeah,
10 sex rules?
Oh,
I guess for wives. I've
sex.
never heard these rules, so I'm like,
I was married once. Hit me.
so somebody retweeted number 2 here, and it says the primary pleasure that you derive from sex should come from you pleasing your husband. Sometimes sex will be physically pleasurable for you, and sometimes it won't be. But either way, if you satisfy your husband, you should be fulfilled in knowing that you have pleased him.
I
I'm
like
like,
this. That's right. I don't see a problem here, Lola.
I see a big problem.
I don't see a problem.
That's hilarious.
As long as there's a sandwich involved, we're all good.
No,
Oh, there's no sandwich?
she's got to get hers. Come on now.
She does. She gets hers by giving pleasure to the man.
I mean, there is always pleasure in pleasing your man. I agree with that,
There
but
you go.
we still need ours too.
It should be vice versa, you know. You give a little, I give a little.
Well, I mean, you know. I guess that's why you take.
You've had me cracking up for the last probably 30 minutes.
This is why I'm a fan of test driving the merchandise.
Oh yeah, I gotta do that.
You know, if you got to test drive it first before you commit to the warranty. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Yeah, you gotta see what's going on there. Are they
Who else
capable?
here? We
Gotta
have
lift the hood.
chat coming in now.
Yeah, check the chat. Who's here in the chat? Anyone?
Johnny Cage, what's up, man?
What's up, Johnny Cage? Finisher.
What's up, Culture?
Culture Casino.
Of course, my panelists are in my chat.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yay.
I've never once been in your chat.
And Phil's in my chat. What's up,
You
Phil?
got a, oh, you got a
Hey, Phil.
DS. The handsome man.
But yeah, I just thought this was hilarious. I was just going through these, and I was like, I couldn't understand why it was trending.
Wait, it was. I thought you just someone retweeted it. I didn't know it was trending.
No, it's it's trending right now. It's the 4th trend on my list.
What were the other rules?
Yeah.
That's what I've been trying to figure out.
You can't find the other ones?
No, apparently that was the one that I guess stuck out for everybody and sent everybody in a frenzy. And I don't know why it sent them all acting crazy.
It seems pretty accurate to me. I don't see a problem with it.
I mean, I
Does
see
the
the
man with the
problem
penis.
with it.
There's no problem with it. Come on now. Let's get real.
Darn it, I want to know the other ones. I'm very curious.
I see it, so I'm looking for them.
I mean, I've never been married, but, maybe someday.
But
Well,
who comes up with these rules,
to me, that's not really just a marriage thing. I mean, I guess they say marriage just because that's the only time
there's
you're
number
supposed
4.
to procreate. But
Maybe I should go to this person. Maybe she's got them all.
She
Let's
has a. Oh,
see.
I heard a boop.
I heard a boop. Oh, it's a wheel. When there's a will, there's a way.
Hey,
What's up?
Will.
Hello.
It's a will. The willies. I got the willies. I got the willies for the
How's it going, Will?
will.
What up?
So, have you seen this trending? He's all right.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
Oh yeah, read it to him.
So, apparently on Twitter, 6 rules for wives is trending right now.
And there's 10 of them.
Not 6. SEX.
Yeah,
Not
sex.
SIX.
6.
I thought you said SIX at first, Lola.
Lola's accent gets.
Yeah.
a
It's her strange foreign accent.
little-
I'm so foreign.
So foreign.
so foreign.
Don't attack his man cave? How is that a sex rule?
Man cave.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense for a sex rule.
Stupid.
Most have a man cave. This is an activity they do or a place they go to, perhaps a room. Maybe to play a game, watch TV, meditate and think, write, read, work out, or just be. Don't attack this. Just agree with them on how he can.
I agree every man should have a man cave and a place to escape, but it's
Yeah,
not
it's
a
called
sex thing.
It's called the house. Jeez, oh man, like you share your house with people. I mean, I don't know. I've always hated the term man cave, though. I just think it sounds stupid.
Affirm
man
him.
cave.
A man can get tired. A man can go through burnout. A man can question himself. A
Who's
man
this
can
wuss?
worry. Huh?
Who is this wuss? This quote-unquote man. It's not a man.
A man can get discouraged, which is why it's important for you to remind him of his greatness, celebrate his achievements, and tell him how proud you are of him.
Well, we all know they should
Oh,
be worshipped
gosh.
at every
Like,
turn.
doesn't that come with marriage?
Don't you have confidence?
Did a guy write this?
Maybe.
I don't know, but I'm finding these interesting because I'm like, isn't that just something you do in a relationship?
This kind of sounds like
Affirm
something.
him.
This sounds like something that was purposely written to trigger people.
Yeah, I think it's
Johnny
written by a man.
Cage, man cave, like his asshole.
There you
No,
go. See, Johnny Cage is on my page.
that's a
Look at that.
different cave.
Yeah. Don't disrupt that man
Oh,
cave.
it's a man cave.
Yeah, stay away from that man cave.
Yeah, no.
I mean, just
no.
the tip, but
Just the tip.
what do you
Here's
think
a
about
good one. Be
the
easy
man
to talk
cave?
to.
Will?
Isn't that my house?
Yeah, see, there you go. We're in agreement. It's the house.
Uh-oh.
I mean,
Oh, what?
Smile.
Smile,
Oh, well, that's easy.
Turn your frown.
Like, all the
upside down.
SJWs are going to freak out about that one.
Oh, for the women to smile?
Yeah, the smile of the woman a man loves keeps him going. Your smile inspires him and makes him want to do more for you.
No, those are called boobies. Keeps him going. Boobies. Yeah, that keeps the man going.
I feel like these aren't the rules.
I just think this was like written, like I said, for just to incite anger, rage, to get people stirred up. Oh, the misogyny! I don't think
Organize
this
his
is.
life?
Is this like a TMZ article or?
No, it's
BuzzFeed or
just
something?
it's just what's trending on Twitter, and I came across it, and I was like,
We already see a number 4.
yeah, I don't think it was this one. I think
Hmm.
someone else decided to take the 10 rules and redo them. That's what that looks like.
Yeah.
There's no
But
rules.
organize. Look, I don't know any man that wants a woman organizing his shit.
No. I have organized chaos on purpose. Don't touch it. Leave it
Yeah,
alone.
that looks more official.
This one,
Yeah.
this is number 8. The Bible is very clear that your husband is your master and that God expects you to always respect his authority over you and to serve and obey him in every way.
Damn.
No, I mean,
Yes, the master.
the good book says so.
Submission to your husband is far more profitable for you than rebellion.
Oh no, come on! I like a nice little rebellious woman.
I mean, in this day and age,
She's
it's got to be equal, right?
she's got just
Yeah,
be
well, and
smack.
that kind of leads more to like raping your wife because that's what the Bible says, right? Because she has to submit and she has to be obedient.
Oh.
This one was my favorite. I read this one earlier. Your husband carries great responsibility as the head of the household. It can sometimes be very stressful for him to be the leader, provider, and protector of the family. Sex is an important and effective way to relieve that stress. Your husband may occasionally demand sex at an inconvenient time or when you are tired. Remember that he probably needs a physical release to help him get through a hard day.
Not only that, the man gets the big piece of chicken.
What?
The big piece of chicken. Like when we were growing up, we always had to save my dad the big piece of chicken. You know, when you get home from work, you save your dad the big piece of chicken.
Culture says some of these things help keep a man's ego stoked. That will get you laid.
Somebody else knows about the big piece of chicken?
Yeah, now we have to find number one.
The big piece of chicken is number
It's
one.
like now I want to go on like a search for number one.
Yeah.
The big piece of chicken.
I don't know.
Need
Like,
You need it.
I think it should be a give and take in a relationship, you know?
Well,
Yes.
of course it's supposed to be. These are just, like I said, these are just written to upset people and to get people angry and.
But I don't think people were angry. Like, they were laughing at it and, like, coming up with different.
They're laughing at it because it's stupid. And that's why they're coming up with different ones to mock it. Because there's no way, if people actually thought this way, the divorce rate would be at like 75% instead of what, 52. So.
I mean.
Yeah. There's no real written rules. I mean, come on. Let's get real. And this is also, they're saying for marriage. So, I mean, but that also goes for any relationship in and of itself. Because a lot of people don't even get married anymore. They date for extended periods of time or indefinitely.
That's because, I mean, marriage is a piece of paper, right?
Yeah, kind of, I mean, I know some people that view it as more, but you're not wrong. It's more or less like a tax thing at this point. But yeah, you can have a great relationship with the rest of your life with someone and not be married.
You can.
Sure.
But what is this magic you speak of?
I wish I could tell you, Lola. Wish I could tell you. But I can't because you're married.
Oh, Lola's the only married one on this panel. Oh, man.
I mean, I was at one point.
And I don't know the rules.
That's probably why that's probably why you're still married.
But hey, it's been 15 years, so you're doing something right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've never heard of rules like that.
Will, what do you think about rules in marriage or relationships in general?
I don't know. I mean, I think biology and circumstances and reality will dictate it. I think most of the advantages that women have these days, that they can be independent and modern, are at the behest of men and authority that men have and the guns that they have. And a lot of female independence these days is the illusion, because men with guns threaten other men without guns and say you must do X, Y, and Z based on our feather pen law. So a lot of female independence is kind of silly and illusionary. It's always at the behest of men. Women have no power, really. So they have power of civilization. They have power of family. They have power of children. I mean, they can create culture, but an equal power of force, no, that's an illusion. That's based on men doing that for you. And typically marriage is protection over women, protection over progeny who are women. But now, again, we don't really value it anymore because we have guns and bad men with guns threatening good men with guns. So You can live in an imaginary world where you think you're equal, but that's not the truth.
How did guns get into the conversation?
Because if you don't have morality, it comes down to force. And typically force uses some kind of weapon. I can call it swords if you like.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Or fists. I mean, we can kill you with our bare hands. So whichever one you want. Fists, knives, guns. Whichever one suits you.
Well, what also what you're also saying is it's the stronger usually, because even another man can be stronger than another man and dictate what he does.
Precisely.
So,
but those are men dictating against other men.
Right. But so the stronger of the species will prevail, so to speak.
Yeah, and usually
the actions.
And so, if you want to get down to it, into let's call it feminism, women really can't stand against men if you really want to, compare different categories of power. Because if you don't have morality, what you're really comparing is will, right? Not no, not me, but will in general. And the stronger will is going to prevail based on force. So, sorry, ladies, you're not going to win there. So, movies are bullshit. Sorry to tell you.
They are.
Yeah.
Especially current year ones.
So what you're saying is this is a man's world.
Yeah, it is. Sorry. I mean,
but it ain't nothing without a woman.
Exactly.
Or a girl.
Exactly. Women create culture. They create civilization.
That's a great song.
With men serving as the wall around it.
The protectors.
Yeah. If they go and try to be the wall, then the structure rots.
I create human life. What's your superpower?
Exactly. It is a superpower.
Yeah, he's not knocking it.
No, I think it's retarded.
No,
when
they're just writing comics about it now.
I just think it's retarded when women think they're men. That's all.
That kind of brings us to the Olympic thing that you wanted to talk about initially, Lola.
Oh yeah, Will, have you been watching the Olympics?
No.
That makes like everyone on the panel.
Yeah, like nobody's I haven't heard anyone talking about it either. Have you guys heard anyone talking about it?
Not really.
No.
I mean, except the news, talking about the kneeling and the continued bullshit that's happening.
It's just completely like, oh, that's happening. Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit.
It's horse shit compared to what it used to be.
Well,
yeah,
go ahead, Lola.
Something interesting. I didn't realize they had surfing in the Olympics now.
That's not what she was going to talk about, by the way.
You know what they said? The Greeks really like to surf.
They did, man.
There's something else. Oh, skateboarding. Skateboarding is now Olympics. But
that too.
They're now allowing men to compete in the women's side, transgender females.
Because because there's no such thing as
a gender.
God, women are morons. This is what happens with feminism. It's like self-negating.
Pretty much, you're letting men come in and take over. How is that fair?
Exactly.
And those tranny men can take hormones and all this shit to make them perform more like a female, apparently. But yet, some girl can't smoke weed and still run.
Right? Is that not jacked up?
It makes no fucking sense ever. All the females then should start taking steroids to roid themselves out and be more muscular like men, like the Russians usually do, and what other countries, I don't know. But why not?
So, boxing is my thing, right? I pretty much pay attention to boxing and, surfing and stuff like that. This is sports that I like to keep up with. And, so when I saw that they had in the Olympics, I was like, ooh, I'm going to go and see how it's going, right?
Yes.
Yeah, about halfway through this article, I get buzzwords and, told about gender equality, and I'm like, how does this fit into sports and Olympics at all?
Well, I mean, they have MMA fighters now having men who taking hormones fighting women, so why not do it in the Olympics too?
Why is transparency and gender equality the highlight for boxing?
Because
I just want to see people beat the shit out of each other.
Right. I haven't
Yeah.
heard about that shit in MMA yet. There's a transgender professional wrestler named Sunny Kiss who was a man or is a man, I don't know, but claims to be female now, but she wrestles men because she's a fucking man.
Mm. But
It
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah, you can't. No, a man's bone density is different. A man's muscle structure is different. There's differences in these things. Even in it's just I don't know. It's just you can't, you shouldn't do that. I should say, you can do it. The results are not going to be what you want them to be in all reality. It's not going to be an even fair fight or even fair match or anything like that. There's
Right.
differences in our biology for a reason.
Because we're male and female.
There you go.
Even Serena Williams almost got canceled for saying it. She cannot compete against even a low-grade minor league tennis player because
Yeah, I heard about
their
that.
serve is just too powerful. Their muscle density, like you said, just provides them with like these fast twitch muscle fibers. They can smack the ball at such a velocity that they can't keep up with it. Even her, the top of her game in the women's field can't. Like I remember when we were all talking about Ronda Rousey and how wonderful she was. Nah, the lowest grade MMA guy could beat the living fuck out of her. You know what I mean? It just. Sorry, ladies. As good as you are, I mean, maybe you can kick my ass. I'm not a trained fighter, but
Right.
Tito Ortiz is gonna fuck up Ronda Rousey. You know what I mean?
Well, and the
this is-
highest grade female MMA fighter beat the shit out of Ronda Rousey because Ronda Rousey ain't that great. Never has been.
well, it's just
Whoever the fuck it is, Gina Carano. I don't know.
right. He's just saying a popular name that people.
The
recognize.
popular one, the one that's the strongest, the superwoman of the day.
And that's the
know?
thing. Like he's not like in this whole discussion, we're not knocking women. Like
No.
Ronda Rousey could beat the living crap out of me, like without a doubt.
But again, we're
I don't
talking
stand
about
it.
typically male fields.
Right.
And and because the word of the day is equality, right? Equality is the word of the day. It is a artificial a pasteurization, a kind of equality of outcome, right? Everyone has to end up in the same place. Well, in order for that to happen, there has to be a handicap, and thus making everything boring and stupid. Because if a woman can't run as fast as an Army Ranger, you got to put a step there. So the
Ronda
competition
Rousey
goes
hasn't
away.
been around in years. It's all about Amanda Nunes.
Yes, Amanda Nunes. So, if they have to fight men, then men can't fight like men anymore.
I like what Culture says. He says, with women, wrap up and take them to the ground.
Exactly.
Amanda Nunes hits hard. She could probably knock a guy out. I bet you.
I'd like to see, is it Conor McGregor?
Yes.
Conor McGregor and Ronda Rousey. That'd be a hell of a fight. I
That'd
don't,
be
Ronda
awesome.
Rousey, she's always looked so manly to me. Like, are we sure she wasn't before she was Ronda?
Her mother was
pretty
kind
sure.
of managed as well.
Ralphie Ronzi.
Yeah. There you go.
I think her mother was what, Taekwondo champion?
She's been out for a while though. She was trying to start a family and stuff. I don't know if she's gotten pregnant yet, but
Well, good for her. That's what she should be doing.
she and her husband own like 50 or 100 acres or something in I think Montana.
Culture says Connor would destroy her.
Well, yeah.
Connor's my favorite,
Mm.
though he sucks these days.
But yeah, it's in you take the athletic peak physical condition of a woman and the athletic peak physical condition of a man, the dude's gonna win.
Well,
in the
yeah,
contest.
like men are built bigger, right? Like they have bigger, like broader shoulders. They there's a reason for that, though, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's because men are actually supposed to be protectors, and they're supposed to be the hunter-gatherers, right? So,
They're supposed to be the man, baby.
yeah, what happened to that, right? What happened to men being men?
Soy milk.
Soy milk?
Society.
know the old saying,
Which one?
bad times produce strong men, good times produce weak men. Good times produce chaos, chaos produces order, order produces strong men, and so the cycle continues.
Mm.
Like, how do we get men back? I just want to see men come back.
Warlords.
Warlord? What? Will?
Warlords. I mean, that's where we're going.
No.
Oh, yes.
Can we just I mean, we're putting all the other hormones in our food. Why not just put some freaking testosterone up in those bitches?
There you go.
Well, I mean, oh, yeah, well, never mind. I don't want to get you struck.
Culture says that men are still men, but I've yet to see the men culture.
You mean in a classification sort of way, as in they possess male endowments? So yeah, I mean, we haven't mutated into another creature, but I think what Lola means is like, are they still considered masculine on the whole?
On the whole.
Well, it's also with changing times, also different parenting skills. You have millennials or whatever raising their kids like they're their friends instead of an authoritative act.
Hey, Jason.
Why do you always do this? I'm not talking every single millennial out there in the world. Jeez, oh man. It's always word nitpicking with you.
Just saying, man.
I would say culture casino ladies are, I mean, those types of ladies are basically shitty men pretending to be good men.
You also have a lot of families without a positive male role model in their lives, and usually that also will hinder a young child, a young boy, to become a man. Usually they don't really learn from, because they don't have that experience. All they have is the mother, and that's what they learn from.
Yep.
So there's that too.
And so many households lack the male anything.
Right.
Okay, but we have more women that are trying to step up to be men as well. So
you could try. It's still not father and a son. It's like a mother and a daughter. There's a certain kind of bond that goes with that. It's just that thing, you know. Like there's a lot of things I didn't pick up from my dad, but like I like to work out, and my dad used to, you know, he wasn't massively into it, but he liked to do it, and that's something I learned from him growing up. I was like, I like that. He's into cars and stuff. I never got into it. But there's a father passes down things to their son, just like a mother does with a daughter. So yeah, a mother can raise a son and they can become a man.
But,
I'm not saying that's not possible, but what I'm saying is it's a little more difficult sometimes.
I think we can narrow it down a little bit more in what you're saying, Jason, because we're talking about two different values. Women value security, men value honor and respect. And it's not to say women don't have honor and respect. What it is that it's the way we relate to men and the way women relate to the family and society, right? So security, you know, everyone's equal, everybody's happy, everybody's fed, everyone's equally loved, right? But your father kind of teaches you that you have responsibility to society and to other men. And that is not an equality-driven pursuit. That's a merit-driven pursuit. And women don't teach you merit. They teach you comfort. They teach you love. They teach you, how to be nurturing to other people, like your siblings, and to be nice. But ultimately, your father reminds you there's a real world out there, and it's a world of men, and they're going to expect things of you. So don't drop the fucking refrigerator while you're lifting upstairs.
There you go.
interesting.
What, Lola? Go on. You had something to say. You were trying to get in when we both rudely, like men, cut you off.
Back Absolute Book 2, friends. For God's sake, the artist has broad shoulders.
Hello, Plago friend. I miss you so much with all my heart. I haven't seen Plago run in a while.
Well, we were on the Discord for a while this morning.
See, yeah, I was working.
This right here, Woodrow. Men have big dick energy. That is true. Real men, men have big dick energy. This stuff that they're trying to peddle to us now, that ain't men. Sorry.
Well, and there's no such thing as a dick, so.
What?
Remember, parts interchangeable. Biology is a matter of opinion.
He's being sarcastic, yo.
Remember, everything's relative. So if I feel like a man, it has nothing to do with a penis. If I feel like a woman, it has nothing to do with a vagina.
Depends on what you want to feel that day.
I could always just fold it.
Be truly equal in a few weeks when they make it to the military draft? Wait, what's going on there? Because Woodrow was asking about it too.
And now that's kind of interesting he says that, because
I don't know.
that's another aspect that it was tied to being a man. If we want to go old school, was the fact that as a man, you were a citizen, you could vote, but there was responsibility that came with that vote. It
Like
wasn't
drafts?
simply a men's club where you're like, oh look, we get a free supersized sandwich because we're men. No, you get to be drafted into water bucket gangs. You get to go to war. I mean, these are not pleasant things, that you have to engage in, and it's something as men we don't want women to engage in, because why would you want to see women cut down on the Somme, right? Like, is that something you fucking psychopaths want to see? A bunch of women being torn apart by Maxim guns, you fucking psychos.
Well, you know what? I say take
Yeah.
those craziest and loudest feminists and put them on the front lines.
Well, that's crazy, though. Like, why would anyone want to see like a Pacific War fist fight
We
between
would
women and
totally win
Japanese?
the war if they put them out there, don't you know?
I'm just saying, it's nutty to me. It's almost like sadism.
I want to put those women out there because I want to get rid of them.
Nah, they'll do like that Israeli army unit did, like that, and run and hide in the bushes. That's why they don't do it anymore.
Asking where the men are is what they'd be doing.
By the way, they don't do that in Israel anymore, right? They have no women in combat anymore. That was a big touting that, the Israeli do it. No, they ran and hid in the bushes, so it was combat ineffective.
Well, like, look, you can't sit and ask for, hey, it's culture. What up, culture?
What up, sir?
Hey. Well, thank you very much for having me in here. Are we still on the sexual dimorphism conversation?
No, but go ahead anyways, man.
No, it's fine. It's just this is one of those things that makes me I get interested in this because combat sports I grew up with from a very young age, and when you start talking about that, and especially when you've moved from boxing into grappling skills like UFC and stuff like that, it blows my mind that people actually think that women can compete with men in almost any weight class. And there is a physical difference between men and women. And that's why when the conversation gets brought up, I go, my ears perk up. I listen to 3 or 4 streams at a time. Lola knows that's to be the case because I was actually listening to Yellow Flash and a couple others simultaneously.
I was doing that earlier too.
Yeah. And so, it's just weird, but it's like, I always pay attention to what Lola's doing, and I don't often comment because, hiding in the background makes it so I don't have to comment on stuff. But this is one of those conversations where I'm like, you realize that men and women, because of our physical difference, we're more dense. It almost doesn't matter. You remove the muscle from the equation, and that's fine. I mean, a woman can train a lot, but once the guy takes it to the ground, it's a completely different circumstance. And so when I see somebody like, if again we brought up the earlier conversation, Conor McGregor versus Ronda Rousey, 3 minutes,
Maybe.
Give them 3 minutes for real.
maybe. It might be shorter.
I don't even think 3 minutes. No, I think one hit.
No. But see, the problem is okay. So he has a pretty good strike technique, right? He's not a boxer. Let's not pretend, but he's a good strike technique. But beyond that, once he gets her to the ground, it's over. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to give benefit of the doubt, and when we come to these kind of combat sports, but and this is a real problem. And I said it in the chat. I'm going to say it again. There is no. And this is not sexist. This is just like, I remember how they say trust the science. Well, the science is we're different. And so when you start to get you move from combat sports into actual combat, the worst thing that could possibly happen is women get into the draft because we're going to have a lot of dead women.
That's where we were going.
Yeah.
But my question is this: okay, in a normal life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, men and women don't compete against each other, right?
No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't.
But-
We have roles. We have different roles. Now, wait. A lot of people shy away from that, Lola, is the concept of roles, right? But don't, because the roles keep us perpetuating life, and that's ultimately the goal. Because unless you are immortal, your job is to create more of you.
Right. Well, I mean, that's how you keep the population going without it going extinct. But my question is, why is it in normal life, like, it's not okay for those two to compete together, but if that man goes and takes some estrogen and puts on a wig and now claims he's a female, he can now come over here and compete against women?
I hate it. That's a bad.
Like, how is that acceptable?
It isn't. It isn't, because unfortunately, no. Look, dysphoria, sexual dysphoria, is a real thing too, right? And so, if you truly feel, and this happens, where your brain doesn't match up with your body type. Let's just say it that way. That can be a real situation as well. But the problem is, you have to be classified as not 100% one thing or the other, and it's uncomfortable. Like, okay, just like I differ in my genetic makeup as far as my origin goes, right? We have to allow for the fact that people are that those people who have that difficulty, that struggle, they're born with that circumstance. They have to be allowed, in my opinion, to exist in the way that they want. But it does change how they would be classified in performance-based things. I mean, it has to, because unfortunately, the way you're born on your birth certificate is your most defining characteristic that is immutable. And unfortunately, we're defined by immutables, at least now. I mean, in the world we live in, not how we used to be. I mean, in Dr. Martin Luther King's world, the immutables were not something that we would even bother to measure. But in current day, that's all anybody chooses to focus on. So, look, people who were previously another definable sex, let's put it in those terms, should not be allowed to compete with someone on the opposite side of things. And by the way, Lola, and I'm sure you know, and Grimmer knows, and Jason knows, and Will knows, it doesn't go the other direction.
Right.
You mean women competing in men's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why is that? Is it because women really aren't that interested in going and doing that?
No, because look, there are thousands of women's sports that have now become, well, not thousands. That's all overstatement. Holy cow, that called hyperbole. Let's rewind. There are many sports in which women will try to go into a professional state. Right? I mean, UFC is one of them. Fighting sports, basketball is another one. You have women's softball, which is basically a different version of baseball. There are lots.
You do realize all those sports suck, though, right?
Well,
on the female version.
No. Wait. Yeah. Okay. Look, they're different. Suck is a strong word. Okay, let's say different.
Suck it good.
Yeah. Well, by the way, I'm much a fan of. I'm not going to say that out loud. It's fine. It's fine to do those things. But anyway, softball.
Bless your heart, Culture.
I know, dude. I love everybody. You know this, Mo. It's the truth. So it's why oftentimes when people go like, "I hate you," I'm like, "Okay, why?" Because I like everybody. But it's we exist in a world where you have sports that are similar to other sports, and basketball is probably the best example, or soccer, right? These are the two sports that we often get the argument for pay equity, right? And this is the biggest problem. The word equity is just the worst word you could possibly use. But there's no such thing, because in order to have equity, you would have to have the same number of people that appreciated whatever you're doing. That doesn't exist. And it's like video games, right? There is a difference between a 3A studio and an independent studio, right? Or a 5A studio, whatever you want to call them. There's a complete difference. There's a difference between an A class movie and a B movie. I mean,
Right.
we all know what we all it's visceral. It's observable. It's something that we can see or experience. And so so when it comes to, well, Lola, like softball, let's say, or no, soccer. Soccer is the best. Like we have what's this chick's name? Rapino. They freaking sucked and didn't do shit the other day in the
Right.
Olympics, right? So that's completely different. There's a difference between women's World Cup and men's World Cup. The audience is different. There's a substantial difference there. So there isn't equality in all things, but I promise you, women dominate in a whole lot of other fields. When it comes to sports, there's a gap in the interest, and for whatever reason, right? People are fixated on making those equal. So what do? They make the things that the men appreciate suck. And they're doing that in every way possible. Baseball's starting to suck. Hockey.
True. Baseball's been sucking though.
And well, okay, basketball is giant sucking.
NFL. I mean, what have they done to the NFL? Like, it went from back in the day, like these guys could go out there and just pummel the hell out of each other over some pigskin. Yeah. Now it's like touch football. You might as well give them some flags and put it on their waist.
Well, you're not wrong, and and the problem is, what, we can't define a catch. So look, and it's the same way in everything. I mean, of course, you and I and those of us around us, we focus on pop culture, comics, film, television, and those kinds of things, because they are the personification of everything that essentially defines our modern mythos. I guess our modern tales, the things that we identify with, our morality balance and stuff like that, right? And that's what's being torn down. It's being torn down regularly, and because of the way they're trying to bring into balance these ideas. Men and women are equal, but they're equal in different ways. And this is the problem with modern feminism. Again, third wave feminism was fine. I mean, you know what? Come into the workplace and compete. That's fine. Fourth wave feminism. Gosh, I'm not speaking well tonight. I apologize. Fourth wave feminism is we're better than men, or we are men. Those are your two choices. Which do you want? Because neither of them are accurate, and there are problems with that. There are many women, and Lola, again, I don't know your age. You seem like you're in your 20s, and that's great. But
I appreciate the compliment, but I'm
she's immensely flattered right now.
No, and well, it's weird. I have no judgment. I turned 50, and so everybody's like children to me now. So but
no,
it's
I'm
just
34.
Okay, all right, love. You don't have to tell people that. Don't do that. But it's
no, I accept it. I embrace getting older.
Oh no, you should. And if that's dear Heine, and my goodness, I know someone who is very happy about it, and I won't talk about it here. But it's just we're just different, and that's the thing that people just on the other side of the argument just don't understand. You have women entering or exiting a workforce that are unsatisfied. When they start to get older, when they start to get into their 40s and 50s, they're going to regret all of the choices they made because they won't have fulfilled their biological calling. I'm going to say it that way. They will. They oftentimes end up in a situation where they didn't create a lasting pair bond. I'm going to say it in those terms. They had a very superficial pair bond, or something more extreme than that. There's a lot of dissatisfaction in even third wave feminists that come back and tell you, look, this is not the path to travel because I was very dissatisfied with the end result.
Well,
Beautiful.
here's what I think happened. I think that women got what they wanted, right?
Not in the right
They got
way.
they got complacent for a little bit. They were satisfied with their, what is it? They say 82 cents on the man's dollar, whatever. All that crap. They were satisfied with where it was, but then they started piping up because there was nothing else for them to get equal with, right? Like they got in the workplace, they got their vote, they got to, women can do anything a man can do in this world. Like that's where we're at.
But Lola, the only country in the world where you have that level of plurality, and I'm going to use these are bigger, but is the United States of America. You don't have this. I mean, even in Canada, for as progressive as they like to pretend to be, they have very clearly defined roles, right? Despite the fact that they're trying to pretend that they don't. Around the entire world, we are the ultimate in the experiment of freedom and liberty. And there are many countries around the world that are like, no, we appreciate what you're doing. We like it. We're headed that direction. But we still want to maintain gender roles. I mean, you have all of Latin America is like, yeah, we don't get this, right? They don't accept it. They don't accept it from Hollywood, and they don't accept it from big tech. They don't accept it from many other places, literature, a lot of things. And so you're starting to see other countries revolt against us before we did. Because again, we live in the most accepting country on the planet. And again, tolerance is either our greatest virtue or our biggest failing. And I'll leave it to everybody out there to make that decision. But we this is a different place. We are the greatest experiment in the history of the world. We took the thing that Rome tried to do and we said, F that, we're going to put checks and balances in place, which for the most part worked up until recently. And it was a pretty good experiment, but most democracies, and we're not a pure democracy, we're actually technically a representative republic, but they only last 150 years at most. We made it 200 plus by having a modified version of that kind of governmental system. Again, but when it comes to, and I'm going to rewind because we're way off target, but when it comes to equality, when it comes to men and women, it's vastly different. God damn it, I've talked for 20 minutes. Somebody shut me the hell up.
Yeah, like that's what we do here. We let people talk and then we talk back. That's what we do.
It's just we live in a different place. Is my whole point. I look. Are any of you watching the Olympics? I guess ultimately that's the question,
No.
right?
No, nobody's watching the Olympics. That's the thing. Like nobody cares about it. That's what I was telling them when I first came on here and we were talking about it. Like I have not heard any YouTubers talking about it. I've not heard I don't have cable, so I'm not watching the news obviously. Like I'm not seeing it. Like I just saw it on Twitter today. It's day 2. Like nobody's talking about it.
Well, the opening actually it's more than that because here's the thing: most people don't realize about the Olympics. It started Tuesday.
Seriously?
Yeah, no, they don't. The opening ceremony is almost always after they've started, so that they can push it into the weekend. I know most people don't. I mean, you never see this stuff that happens early, but it started Tuesday.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, this is I remember growing up and when the Olympics would happen, that would be the biggest news for days. Like that's all you heard about. That's all that was on TV. And now we're just like, fuck it.
It is. No, it's you're 100% right. And the people that would be most engaged with the Olympics are the people who are centered on their country. They were, in a certain amount, somewhat nationalist. And what have they gone out of their way to destroy over the last decade?
They
Nationalism.
destroyed everything.
No, nationalism primarily. But
Oh.
no, you're not wrong. But that's what they've gone. That's what they've gone and done. And again, I mean, this is a weird space. Normally, I don't talk about the political aspect of things when it comes to this type of stuff, especially not on my channel. But fortunately, you have a free flowing platform. I'm allowed to say these kinds of things. But it's just nobody's interested anymore because obviously the greatest athletes of our time, and Lola, I'm sure you've seen this, and the likes of Mr. Excuse me, I apologize, Miss Rapinoe. They don't represent the country. They have a distinct disdain for the United States of America, and they exhibited it prior to losing their asses to Sweden.
So wouldn't that tell them maybe something's not right here and we need to like flip this back a little bit and make things like, because honestly, you're not giving it an equal playing field out there. So are those medals being won fairly? No, not in my book. If you've got men competing in female sides,
Dude.
those are not well-earned medals.
No. The weightlifting thing, and I mean, this is primarily the thing that we're going to focus on right now. No, that's craptastic. I mean, Zuby Music, think about how much he made a mockery of this, like, what, less than a year ago, around a year ago, right? I love Zuby.
Oh, yeah, I know Zuby. I follow him.
But it's like, you know what? Today I'm going to identify as a woman. I'm going to do all these amazing weightlifting feats, and tomorrow I won't anymore. But I won all those things as a woman because that's your criteria.
That's it. I'm identifying as a lion.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Yeah, you have great haunches. So don't tell.
Yeah, baby.
Don't tell your partner I said that because I respect him greatly. So. This is the world that we live in. This is the world that we live in, and I hate it. I hate it. But here's the thing: if we continue to do what we do, maybe it'll be more temporary than, I don't know, the hula hoop or something, some fad that went out of the way, right? The bowl cut haircut, right? Because I would never do that. Have you seen my hair? I would never have a bowl cut.
Beautiful.
So, yeah, I know. Thank you.
You get all kinds of shit about your hair, man.
I know. You know what? I seriously am gonna launch a hair care product line. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna be like fucking Casino Sassoon or some shit. I don't know.
Valsoon.
Yeah, something. Right. Yeah. But anyway,
I can see you doing that, man. That'd be hilarious.
Look. That's the other cool thing. You guys, like I said, I mean, I never anticipated there would be a group of humans I could hang out with that thought like I did, and we're constantly asking these questions because we are the punk rock, right? A lot of people want to think they're punk rock, but we're the punk rock. We're like going, wait a minute, establishment, you're bullshit. And the people that we expect to be anti-establishment, well, they're fucking, skipping along hand in hand with these motherfuckers, and it bothers me.
It's weird. It's a weird flip.
Yeah. You got rock and roll guys, right? The people who are like, fuck the system, fuck the government, and then they're like, oh no, we're good. Get stuck with the thing and do the thing and follow the thing. And that's the other problem. They're very non-specific. Anyway, I'm not gonna get I can get really political super fast. I don't know what just happened, but that's their language, right?
Casino, you've been drinking tonight?
No.
Wow.
I mean, no more than normal. Wow. It's weird because so some of you know that there's a thing going on in Vegas in, a few weeks. And I'm going to be there because, there's people going to be there that I want to hang out with. And it's going to be a lot of fun. But hopefully it doesn't change the schedule that I keep with everybody here. In fact, I hope it like adds to it. So
So you're gonna get to go be one of the cool kids for a bit.
briefly, yeah, that's how I feel. You know, Lola. Every once in a while, I feel like, oh yeah, I get to walk into the lunchroom with some cool people.
They let
Yeah.
you in. They let you in this time.
It's like, I get to sit at the table. Yeah, no, but here's the thing. I consider a lot of these people my friend because I've known them for a long time and I get to meet them in person on all those great things. But yeah, just like a lot of people, I don't ever feel like I belong in there, and that's just that's that insecurity that comes along with just being out here in the world, right? And that's a good thing because the minute you lose that, I mean, you need a little ego to be on YouTube, and that's like God's honest truth. But at the same time, especially when you're a creator, like all of you great people and everybody that we try to support, like whether it be comics or music or whatever it is, right? Because I'm 100% behind as many people as I can get behind. Like even like people who are talking about things that I may not enjoy, like Star Trek and stuff like that. I'm 1,000% behind them. But
Did
they
you
have
just say
this.
you don't enjoy Star Trek?
He's not
No,
alone.
No.
I don't enjoy Star Trek.
Certain modern Star Trek, let's say.
I don't do any of it.
Well, I'm
Greatest
sorry.
captain ever.
Ooh, Jason, greatest cap for me. Greatest
Yeah.
captain. Wow, shit, that's a toss up. It used to be
Crunch.
a toss up between Jean-Luc Picard and Kirk. Right, it used to be a
Captain
toss up. And now it's not because fuck Picard in the ear hole. But yeah, no, it would be a toss up between Kirk and Cisco. Actually, now, to be honest with you, I think Captain Kirk, James Tiberius, is the defining point of being a captain in Starfleet. Somebody who has an ego, but has the inability to understand self-sacrifice. But I think Cisco has an intellect that's greater than Kirk's, based on that theory.
No
So
love
those
for
would be
Captain
my-
Kangaroo, huh? No
Say again?
love for Captain Kangaroo.
I like Captain Crunch.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are wrong. I'm talking about Star Trek here. Good Christ.
You guys are wrong.
Nom nom.
You're wrong, man.
You're wrong, man.
They're not Star Trek fans. I'm a
No.
huge Star Trek fan.
No, look, I grew up with this stuff. You have to remember. Okay, so I'm 50.
I mean, I like Janeway, but
Star Trek started just a few years before I was born. I watched it through syndication in my formative years, guys. And Kirk was the embodiment of ego and sex appeal, right? I mean, there were a lot of those guys, right? You had David Hasselhoff with Knight Rider. You had and this is going to get me canceled, the Duke Boys with Dukes of Hazzard.
Yep.
You had
Luke and Bo.
Punch and the other knucklehead and Chips. You had Don Johnson and the other guy in Miami Vice, right?
Yep.
You had these are the characters I grew up with, the defining points of
but
masculinity.
none of these characters could exist today.
No, everybody I just said were motherfuckers in today's world, right? So they would be all completely canceled. I mean, I was alive when there was a live-action Spider-Man television show,
Yep,
a live-action Captain America television show. By the way, that motorcycle, fucking badass.
Yeah, it was.
There was, I was alive when Kiss did a television special movie, a movie of the week two-parter that was them being superheroes, kind of.
I mean, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. They even did the comic book where they dripped their blood in the
It was
red ink.
it was amazing, right? And the scenes were the coolest scenes were filmed at Magic Mountain in Southern California. You had
I know nothing about these shows.
oh yeah, no, it's fine. But I saw the original Battlestar Galactica, right? the original A Team. I mean, we're talking about the like,
Wolvo, get in here.
yeah, the amazing things that existed in the world, and none of those things, like Lola was saying, would exist now. They couldn't do it. They could do it. They just have no waifus.
Some person says, "Don't forget Adam West."
No, Adam West, dude. Wait, I'm not even done. Okay, so you had Adam West and Batman, right? He had
He's
Hogan's
like the
Heroes.
best Batman.
Yeah. He had Robert Crane as in Hogan's Heroes. You had all of these amazing programs because they went into syndication when I was in my youth. They were awesome. Okay, and here's the thing. If you wanted a sensitive, slightly left-leaning person at the time, you watched the television program MASH.
Yeah, there you go.
If you wanted to see irreverent, womanizing masculinity, you watched Dawson in Cheers, or you watched Remington Steele, which was Pierce Brosnan. You watched Moonlighting with Bruce Willis.
Oh yeah, Moonlighting.
Yeah, there was a billion things out there, and they all formed the modern man of the time that existed through 2010.
Now we get Tila Man.
Yeah, no, yeah, and that makes me sad. But getting back to the women's sports thing, which is where we were before I went on the nostalgia trip I just did. Women are not men, men are not women, and if you try to put them in the same position to compete against each other, shit gets fucked up. It just does.
Right.
Which is pretty much what's happening. But I was just amazed about like not hearing. Like I said, I haven't heard anyone talking about the Olympics. Like none of the YouTubers have said anything about it. No, like, mum's the word. And so I was just like, okay, well maybe this is something we could talk about tonight since I'm not hearing anyone talk about it.
Well, I'm not that big into sports, so it's kind of like yeah. I mean, I can talk about it, but I don't know anything about sports really. I mean, I know the basics. But when it comes to like, yeah, should a man fight a woman? Then yeah, no.
No, no, dude, no. It should never happen. But
nope.
Here's the problem.
What's up, Jedi Bill?
When it does, yeah. What's up, Jedi Bill? Good to see you, brother. Hopefully you're staying on your medication schedule, Dick. Anyway, but seriously, Jason, is that a combat sport you want to witness? Is that something you want to?
No, definitely not, man.
What was the name of the chick that decided to be a dude and then just broke the shit out of two women? Like cracked their skull and freaking fractured jaws and shit.
That was the MMA person, right?
Yeah. I can't remember her name.
I don't remember the name. My friend told me about it a while back.
I can't remember that person. I hate doing that. Can't remember that person's name.
I'm bad with names anyway.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Compared the opening ceremonies in the United States with 2016, right? We're going to go back 5 years because, the Olympics were delayed a year because of, global crisis. They're down 36%. 1/3. More than 1/3.
I heard China didn't, or Japan, wherever they're at, they didn't even want it. Like they didn't even want the Olympics.
They didn't. Because they live in fear. And do you realize over 1/3 of the people said no, thank you? And it wasn't just because it was aired at a weird time, because you could catch it on the replay. But 36% drop. That's the thing I love to do, is talk about numbers and the business and all of that side of stuff. Do you realize how little coverage I'm getting on the Olympics that I go searching for all the time? The United States, for the first time in over 50 years, didn't get on the medal platform.
It's crazy.
I thought you said they had 3.
Yeah, they said they got 3, I guess, today, maybe?
Oh, well, maybe, but it was okay. So up until today, they didn't get on the medal platform then. But based on stuff through noon today, they hadn't made the medal platform.
There we go. Fallon Fox is the name of that MMA fighter.
Thank you, Woodrow. Good for you.
Yeah, Woodrow.
CNC, Chaotic Neutral Comics. I think of that
Oh,
as
hey, chaotic neutral. Yeah. Woodrow's chaotic neutral. I always forget about that.
yeah.
I think he's fixing to drop something, isn't he? And he got a project coming out or something.
I think so.
Oh
I
wow,
mean,
cool.
not 100%.
I thought I
I'm in my
saw him
own
with the
little
project.
bubble.
I don't know. I signed up for something with you, Woodrow. I don't know what I signed up or what I gave away, but
It's a surprise.
Here's that other weird thing. So I don't know how much you guys read the Daily Wire or anything, but they projected this going back a little bit as far as the overall ratings crash, um, setting that 45% of Americans are confirmed that they are not looking forward to the games in any capacity.
so that explains it. That explains why
And
nobody cares.
more than 60% of Americans were unable to express excitement or interest in the summer games.
Well, they were supposed to happen last year, right?
It was, but do you realize how much money NBC spent trying to get this coverage?
And yet nobody cares. I mean,
Yeah, people spend a lot of money on this stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
Money that could be spent doing other things, you know?
Well, they build the stadiums also and everything, and they sit vacant forever. So yeah, I mean, this stuff.
Jason, you're 100% right. They're called white elephants.
Yeah.
Yep. They exist all over in every part of the world that can't afford to possibly have them, that have other issues they need to address, like Brazil. Brazil has 6, I think, white elephants.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
So what happens? They just demolish them then, or?
Well, they just go unused or little used. For example, okay, so not a lot of stadiums are like this stadium in Los Angeles, Memorial Stadium, right? Where that's actually seen a couple of Olympic games, I think, maybe 2, maybe more. But they also hosted football games and track and field events and a whole lot of other things, concerts and stuff like that. The rest of the world doesn't always enjoy those kinds of opportunities to exploit a venue where they can continue to charge money to try to pay off the big ass fucking white elephant that they paid for. There have been stories on this, even what is now the extreme side of the argument on one particular side used to talk about these things, right, when it came to the Olympic Games. But yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Yeah, I don't like I said. I mean, as far as I always kept track of, I'd like not keep track. I'm like, hey, did we get any medals? And my mom'd be like, yeah, we got a couple. Like, okay, cool, yeah, awesome. But that's about the extent I always got into the Olympics. But there's plenty of people who actually used to care about it, and I don't. Like you said, it's down a third. Like, obviously, people are just. I don't know if they're sick of what's going on, like all the politicalization of it, or if it's more or less like because now we're all free and clear to roam around outside, that they're just trying to enjoy a little bit of the freedoms, quote unquote, that they do have now. So I don't know.
What do you think, Will?
I think we'll
You fell asleep?
Slightly. I was getting my Hooked on Phonics book at a Romans Republic. What the hell is that?
Phonics.
What?
I don't know anything about history. Let me tell you something.
Don't know much about history.
I mean, can we learn about those guys? I don't know who those guys are.
No
Well-
idea.
Well, okay, so anyway, so just for perspective, because I think everybody should have it, so we can talk about it. NBC bought the rights for the Olympics from 2021 to 2032 for $7.65 billion, plus an additional $100 million signing bonus to be used for the promotion of Olympianism and the Olympic values between 2015 and 2020.
That's what companies or corporations and business billionaires do. They spend money.
They do.
But why
I
don't
have
they
that
spend
kind of
money doing anything good for the world?
You asked the priceless question there, Lola, that will forever remain unanswered.
And we've already seen, and this is the problem with all of this, the graft that's associated with the Olympics when it comes to the leadership who choose the destinations for said games. It's happened multiple times where people that are associated with choosing destinations end up with luxurious and lavish lifestyles that came out of nowhere. And that's the problem. I mean, let's be honest. In every single way, money, when it comes to these things, has corrupted something that was pure, right? Because you have, especially in the case of basketball, let's use that one, professional athletes competing against pure amateurs. So the concept of amateurism, which is what the Olympic Games were founded upon, well, at least the modern Olympics, by the way, that doesn't exist any longer.
Hey, Coulter, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Have you ever been a stoner?
You mean, have I done anything that's outside of what could have been perceived as legal at some point in my life?
No. Have you ever gotten stoned? Have you ever smoked marijuana?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Okay. Because, like, you're full of knowledge, but it's like, for me, it sounds like stoner knowledge.
Oh, dude, no. Yeah, thank you, but no, I know a lot of that, dude. Yeah, I'm full of it. That's a good way to say it. No. But that's the unfortunate thing of being me. I retain a lot of crap. I've learned a lot of crap. I'm told a lot of crap. It doesn't go anywhere. It's a problem.
Look,
You and Will could probably go on for hours.
No, I don't know anything.
Yeah.
I'm not full of knowledge like this gentleman.
You're a liar. You're a liar.
Yes.
I've been listening. Do you realize how long I've been listening to? Since Lola started doing this, this is one of the places I go. And look, I'm just like Lola. I support as many creators as I possibly can. I enjoy this, and to me, it's more important to promote others than it is to even promote myself, and that's key. That's key. But again, you do need an ego. So, Will, you need to work on your ego, bro.
I will do just that.
All right. I mean, you do have the Christ kissing, I think, your head.
No, it's not me.
Oh, okay. Who that is?
Yeah, I've been trying to figure that out, actually.
Who that?
What is it a picture of, Will?
It's almost like Lyndon Hall. It's like you're kissing the head of Lyndon Hall.
In Biggin, Lola.
In Biggin.
Biggin?
Make him bigger.
You can select that. There you go.
Oh,
It's Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves and Jesus.
by the way, he's very handsome. If I were going to go that way,
So it's Will kissing Will?
Pretty much.
Will
That's
is the
hilarious.
Christ. Hey, what's up, the Christ? It's good to see you. I've often been accused of being the Christ. Have you seen my hair?
He looks just like the white Jesus.
You know, when you're told you're getting all this good shit from a black Jesus. Oh wow, I didn't need to be on screen for that. That's a Chris Rock bit, guys. It was not me.
Yeah, it is. No, I
I'm
got
safe.
What's up, Skip?
Yo, Skip, what's up, man?
Busy. What's up, Busy?
Hey, if it's Chozo.
And
Dude,
Wolvo. What's up?
Right.
Keanu.
And Frog G was in there, too.
I'm not
Hey,
kidding.
Frog
I'm
G.
not kidding. You realize Keanu's that guy. He could flip dudes. I'm just saying.
It's a good movie too, Keanu.
Especially when he's
Cat.
blowing
Anybody
holes
else?
through people's heads with his awesome guns.
By the way, is
Nobody.
anybody else looking
Nobody
forward
else saw
to John Wick 4 as much as me?
Yeah.
I saw the
I
first
stopped
two.
after 2.
Oh man, dude,
Not gonna lie.
3 was good. 4 is going to be porn. And as long as you don't
Nice.
as long as you don't watch Matrix 4,
He
you'll
means
be
gun
good.
porn.
Because Matrix 4 is going to suck.
No, yeah, I'm not interested in that one.
dude.
I like the John Wick stuff just
Yeah,
fine.
I stopped after
I just haven't
2.
caught it.
Dude,
I just haven't caught it. That's all.
half that script of freaking not John of Matrix 4. Half that script makes 2 and 3 look good. That's how bad Matrix 4 is going to be.
I've never seen any of the Matrix movies.
Watch the first one.
Sad koala face out here. What?
Yeah, just watch the first one. You'll be good.
Yeah, that's it. Watch the first one and hit pause on anything else. Ever.
Yeah. They should have just ended it and left it as it was.
Look, there were a lot of good ideas in the next 2 films. They were not well done.
Well, this is the... Like, you don't need to finish things out or explain more. Things can just end and leave it opened. That's okay. Yeah. Oh, You're allowed to. That's why the ending to The Thing was so good.
It was.
You look at John Carpenter's The Thing. It's perfect. That ending is beautiful.
And the best ending ever to a trilogy was in the Indiana Jones trilogy. That was the best. You got to 3 films and you stopped. Yep. And you didn't have to make any more films because that was perfect.
And that's the third one is one of my favorite ones, actually.
It was. They rode off into the sunset. You need that. Yeah.
My thing is like it's gonna end up being something like the Saw movies, you know, like yeah, you get a good few there, but then all of a sudden things start just dragging off and going weird, and you're like, well, how does this even go with the story?
It doesn't. But see, yeah. No, and that's why, you need to know when to draw the line as a creator. Like when you have reached I'm bereft. I have a dearth of creativity when it comes to this property. That's when you stop. Okay? And that's why I think George Lucas went too far. I mean, in a couple different franchises. I think that just there's stuff that just it's perfect the way it is and stop trying to add. Come up with something new. You're smart guys. I mean, you can do it. It'll be all right.
Well, also with George Lucas, his wife had a lot of input on those first.
Yeah, his ex-wife was excellent, and we would not have had the Star Wars that we got when I was 6 and 7 years old, if it weren't for his wife. And you know what? The editing bay saved Empire, which is probably arguably the best of the original trilogy. I flip back and forth between the first and second movie, depending upon my mood. And, Jedi was a good wrap-up, right? And you could have stopped there, and everybody would have had wood for the rest of their life because it was amazing.
Well, they could have... No, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, please.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, they could have done the other episodes, but he was just too far out of control. There's plenty of things, like even if you look at the comics that came out, as far as like the last 3 movies, you could have done Dark Empire. That could have wrapped up everything perfectly fine.
Amazing.
Yeah, and that would have been a solid ending. There are ways to actually.
But that wasn't his fault.
No. But what I'm saying is there were creative ways. Like you can extend that Star Wars thing and end it and be okay. But obviously things didn't work out that way. But there's plenty of things where you don't need to. Like you said, they could have ended Star Wars at the 3 and be just fine.
And they would have been fun, or they could have done better with 6, and it would have been. Again, that comes down to the way the story was told and all that. And I didn't mind prequels. I mean, back then. Now, if you show me a prequel, I think it's going to be woke trash. And that's the problem, is we're all tainted now with everything that we look at. We're looking at the garbage that comes along with the modern storytelling. They want to insert a bunch of garbage that didn't exist, that it diminishes the original stuff. And I'm tired of it. I mean, by the way, there are things that are timeless. Lola is showing them one of us right now with her avatar, and then there are things that they have the staying power of a second hand on a watch, and that's the position in history we are right now. There have been other moments in history that have the same staying power. We don't remember them because we're not old enough, but significant events in history happen in big clusters, and we're past them. Right now, we're in that we're in the rapidly ticking second hand that nobody will remember. And maybe that's good, maybe that's bad, but at least I existed in a period of time where everybody's going to remember that.
Yeah, and like it goes back to that thing where people are like, you hate to say like back in my day things were this good, and the thing is though, like, yeah, our parents used to say it. And it's like, well, were they really? But they really were better
They
back in
were.
the day. They
Yeah,
they were.
look, the golden age, that's not bullshit. I mean, there really was a golden age in comics, bronze age in comics, silver age in comics. And I'm happy to say, you know what, that's true. Same thing in any other form of entertainment, film, TV, whatnot, right? Music, specifically.
I just
Um,
want creativity to come back culture. I want people to be creative again. And you know what? That's why I back Comicsgate projects.
Me too, and I back the fuck out of everybody that's doing independence. I'm not a shill, so I back the stuff that I'm interested in. But I'm going to be
Well,
straightforward.
yeah.
So I'm holding comics that I think are amazing, or I'm holding comics for artists that I think are talented, even if the
Right?
story's not the best, right? So, but I hold those things. I order those things. I mean, I've got next to me, I've got the fucking lunchbox from Barron's fucking Florida Man, right? I'm holding
Mhm.
the goddamn lunchbox that came with the, spend too much fucking money pack, right? So, I mean, that's the kind of shit that I invest in because number one, I love it. By the way, that comic's just retarded good. But it is. It's amazing, dude. I can't wait for more of it, right? And and we use a lot of terms in the industry, or you all do. I don't give two shits, but you say stuff like graphic novel, comic, whatever the fuck you want to say. It's all the same to me. I've been growing up with funny books since I rode down on my bicycle when I was 7 to 10 years old to the goddamn Circle K, and I bought the 3-pack of comics that I worshipped that shit. Fucking, that was my week's worth of entertainment. Was that stuff, right? And you know what? It made me a lifelong comics fan until recently, and to the point where I was going down until like the early 2000s, and I was getting a pull list of comic books that I love, right, from the local shop, right, because I was supporting the dude that had a shop that was in a fucking strip mall that was probably doing unsavory things to inflatables in the back room or whatever. But that
Yeah.
it's fucking true. But no, it's just but that's the world that I grew up in. It's like and I'm not ashamed of that. I mean, my stepdad got me into comics when he handed me the first appearance of Thor comic. He said, "Here,
Ooh, Journey into Mystery, yeah. 84,
and I was like,
believe.
holy fucking shit. And that was hooked forever. And think about it. I had like the original, like the giant format, right? The giant format
Yep.
Star Wars #1 comic, right?
Nice.
And I still have it. It's in the basement over at my folks' house. I've got a shitload of fucking comics in my storeroom, just like less than a mile away because I can't fucking store all my shit in this goddamn house. But it's just, you end up with a lifetime of these memories, and you hang on to them because the ones that are important, it's shit you hang on to. Do you know what I'm not going to hang on to? Ant-Man and Wasp. Give two shits. Not two shits to that. You know what? A fucking WandaVision can suck my left nut. It's just
Yeah.
it's these things that they have cheapened, right? They took the heart out of it. That's okay. That's it. They tore the heart out of real storytelling because they don't know how to do it.
That's why we
yet,
have Absolute 2 now.
well, we do, and we have all of these amazing Berserker, right? We have, if you want to get into the industry side of things, if you want to get into, Comicsgate, fucking Jesus, you got EVS just fucking balling, right? You got just, people I know. You've got like Vinny Art and all those guys.
Yeah.
You've got Mandy Summers. You've got, that Umbrella guy. You have so many people that are doing it, right? And it's all different types of comics. It appeals to a lot of different folks. You got
Right.
Matt Barr, right? You got
Yeah.
I mean, he's on here occasionally, right? You have
Yeah.
all these great comics. I mean, and present company included. But you have all of these people that are making books, and again, I'm going to support everybody that look, I'm not going to lie. If your shit does not appeal to me, I ain't going to buy it. But if it does, I'm going to buy the shit out of it. That's how I am. I mean, fucking Fatal J, I bought his book. I bought, World Class Bullshitters, fucking Jeff's book, right? I mean, people that I know, love, and respect are in that fucking book, you know. And that's what you have to do. You have to support the things that you love, the creators that you love, the people that you love. I mean, we have so many amazing creators in here, right? You have people here that legitimately do art, people that are in the chat right now that I'm going to support. I know Lola supports Makini. Makini is God, one of my closest friends on freaking YouTube. He's a talented artist. Dude, we're
He's
blessed.
awesome. He's awesome, dude.
I know,
we
I
like
know.
Makini.
And Lola supports everybody. This is one of the reasons that I love hanging out with Lola. And Lola, I appreciate all of your support for everybody. I mean, everyone. And
Well, that's the way things work here, right? Like everything grows organically,
yeah, it
and
does.
so like we have to network together. I think a lot of people miss that, like especially like when they come into Comicsgate and stuff. Like it's like they don't understand you have to network and you have to grow.
Dude.
And in order to do that, you have to talk to people. You have to support each other. Like we can't sit around and complain about the way things are and not support the alternative to what we're bitching about.
We got.
Like, there's no way. Like,
Yeah, I mean, look.
I mean, are we just gonna sit around and bitch forever?
Well, I mean, and that's the other cool thing. Lola's, we have amazing creators that hang out on Flashcast, right? Which is, I think, wrapping up or getting close to wrapping up. The amazing artists over there. You got, God, there's so many great people that we get to hang out with that it blows my mind, and they make better content than the mainstream guys that have shit tons of money, right? Companies that have just buttloads of money that are willing to sacrifice everything for some craptasticness. Like, dude, did you see the Dark Horse thing where we're not just for straight white guys anymore? Bullshit.
Wait, what? I didn't see that.
Oh, god damn. Yeah, I don't have it pulled up, but you
don't need to. Just
that was
like,
the
what
thing
is it?
today. It made me super pissed, dude. I live in this place where I exist between I'm really happy and I'm super pissed. That's not cool, man.
What was the Dark Horse thing? I missed that.
Oh yeah, dude. Let me see if I can find it.
Yes, sign up for Goblin Girl, friend. Goblin Girl currently on Indiegogo. Back at once, back at twice. Sign up 3 times.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I'm back in fucking the crazy ass rabbi dude. I fucking bought his shit. He's
awesome, man. I like the rabbi.
Yeah, and space alien guy. Fucking love him. The blue puppet dude. Hang on a minute, George. God dang it. Yes, yeah, I bought his goddamn book. I mean, I'm buying the shit that I love. That's just weird.
That's what I do too. But also, like, I buy what I like. But also, if I don't like it, sometimes I'll tweet it out if I think it's like, hey,
I do that
cool.
for sure.
You
Man,
might like it. Everybody. Yeah, there's nothing. It's not a personal thing. It's just like it's a story I may not be interested in. Like if somebody's like, hey, your book looks cool, but it's not for me. That's fine.
Well, there's no rule that says you have to back everything you come across.
I don't walk into a comic shop back in the 90s and buy everything in sight. You know, I bought what I liked. It's the same thing in this scenario, you know.
I mean, I was going to the comic shop to buy heavy metals, but fuck that shit. So
I got the one that Jonathan Wayshak drew about Slipknot. Just because I'm a big Jonathan Wayshak fan. And I like Slipknot.
Yeah, dude, there are certain artists I can't stay away from, even if the fucking story is garbage. So I feel you, bro.
Yeah, I didn't read it. I just flipped through it.
It's like me. It's like, oh, that's fucking awesome.
Like,
yeah, no, I in the private chat I sent a clip, but this is not the original clip, so the clip's in the private chat. But it's just, this shit pisses me off.
Where is it, Lola?
Hold on.
Lola, do the Lola thing.
The Lola thing?
Lola.
Yeah.
Lola.
Lola. Wait, that's not you. Though.
Lola lady.
Yeah,
What's the
because
Lola thing? What are you talking about?
Lola in that song is a dude, but you're not a dude, so we're good.
She's a 13-year-old boy.
What? No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You not heard this culture?
no. Stop. Just I don't.
Don't ruin this for him.
Stop it.
Wow, don't do it, Jason. Don't make me come to your house.
Oh, we can hang out.
I will send. I'll send a
We can
wet
hang
to
out.
your house, bro. Don't do it.
We can hang
I'm
out.
just saying.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Don't. There's certain things. Don't do it.
I mean, do I really sound like a 13-year-old boy?
Are you gonna pull up the thing or not?
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Whip it out. Whip it out. Damn it, Jesus.
Wait, I'm fighting for my femininity here.
No,
you don't need to.
No.
Don't worry, Lola. You're a
I am
beautiful
looking at
woman.
femininity right now. If that's wow, I'm just saying.
And I'd totally fuck you in an alternate universe.
Well, wait, look, no, I can't say a word.
Dark horse
I'm
promises.
the boss is listening. The boss is in,
not
like,
just-
across the house, watching the shit. Fucking trouble. There you go.
So, is this Dark Horse Promises? It's not just straight white boy comics anymore.
There you go. You love me.
I didn't know that's the only people that bought it before. That's interesting.
Oh, well,
Or
you know what?
right?
White
Hey,
boys?
just some guy would be like, what?
Those bastards.
Like, I mean, I've bought a bunch of Dark Horse because,
Oh, yeah.
I know.
I mean, Will, you've got Dark Horse too, right? Like, don't you have a Hellboy behind you?
What?
Don't you have Hellboy there?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, Hellboy is a Dark Horse comic. So, to say that it's just white boys, that's insane.
Yeah, Will's
Yeah.
not a white boy.
And Hellboy's red.
Okay. Billed as a look at the future for one of the industry's leading independent publishers, the 35 years of Dark Horse, past and present panel at San Diego Comic-Con 2021 proved to be just as much a celebration of the medium and its evolution in the 3.5 decades past. Who's about Dark Horse? Kate J. Okay. So it's headed up by a woman, right? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, I can't remember how long Dark Horse actually. I think it was
Isn't Dark
always.
Horse a part of Marvel or DC? It's part of DC,
No, well, it's not. It's an
right?
independent company.
Yeah, we're an independent label. I mean, they've been around.
Yeah, they're an
based on-
independent label, but they're a part of one of the big main too. They're it's kind of
No.
like Black Label Comics or
No, it's not Vertigo or anything like that. Dark
They've
Horse
been-
is its
they
own
were
publishing
independent
company.
as far as I mean, from way back in the day, and of course they're telling you the story in the article. It's like 35 years of this shit for those guys. I don't know that they're. Maybe you're right, Lola. I don't know.
I believe they were bought out by one of the big two.
That wouldn't surprise me, but they were an independent label forever.
Yeah. I knew they were independent, but like it's something to do with the way they're branched off. I'll have to ask someone who's better versed in that than me. But I've been told that they were part of one of the big two.
No, like I don't. Plenty of people buy comics, like not just straight white dudes. For ever since comics have been created, plenty of people buy
Right.
comics.
But that's kind of
It's-
like saying everybody in Comicsgate is a 42-year-old male.
Yeah, exactly, and we joke about it, but it's the same principle. But it just because the dominant, like, if 51% of the people that collect comic books are white men, that is a majority. So, like, the majority of the people that probably do collect comic books are like white dudes. But that doesn't mean other people don't buy them. It's the stupidest thing ever to say they're not just for white dudes anymore. It's idiotic. It's like it never was the intention in the first place, and it never was the case.
Just goes along with today's trend about,
Well, yeah, and it makes this straight white boy not want to buy your comic anymore. So
Well, basically what they're saying, they're telling you is that everything they put out from now on is going to be woke of some sort.
it's a good thing I don't want to buy it anymore.
Right? That's why we buy Comicsgate.
Right. Right. That's 100% right. And according to the latest information I can find, they're still independent. They're the third largest
Okay.
comic company. So
Okay.
No. I mean, that's one of the things I do is I go hunting, spelunking for that crap. But no, it's still primarily controlled by the original founder, which was Mike Richardson.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it makes me sad.
Yeah. It just doesn't make any sense. Like Dark Horse also back in the day was kind of like, I don't know, like the punk rock, so to speak.
They were,
You know.
yeah, and I loved the comic label on them. Everything about them were
Yeah,
just
that
definitely different.
logo, their logo's awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
But
gosh, um, they did. I mean, that was the publisher for Sin City
yep.
and stuff like that. So I mean, God, and the biggest problem is, and I think we all know that led us to this place where we are right now when it comes to comics is they were all distributed by the same bunch of asshats. They were called Diamond.
Yep.
So, but I don't even want to get into all of that. And again, I mean, the comic industry it got just fucking destroyed because of this just idiotic thinking, this myopic view, this regimented's not the right word. I'm trying to find the right word, but it made me sad. There's a lot of things that make me sad, apparently. But
Yeah, I mean, I don't. The only time I ever hear about stuff like this is when I'm on a stream. I don't like. I never really find this stuff out like through the internet, Twitter, or anything. I accidentally stumble across it like in these instances. So it is very disappointing whenever you hear stuff like this. But otherwise, I'm usually pretty oblivious to it because I live in a bubble. But yeah, this is that's sad.
I
Sad,
just want to
Jason.
swim in my fishbowl.
Luke, Death Metal Hero has a fish tank you could swim in.
Okay, yeah.
Fish tank.
This is fish tank. I need this fish tank tonight.
It is fish tank.
Yeah, like this is what loses the money though. So
Well, like the
well,
other thing is, sorry, Lola. No, go ahead. I shouldn't have cut you off.
no, I was done.
Oh no, I was gonna say like even a few years ago, like before I even knew about CG, companies like Dark Horse and Image, I was gonna pitch, like I was gonna try to go through to get my book out there. So because I liked those companies back in the day, and granted they're independently owned, so but it makes it's kind of a relief you didn't. I didn't, but at the same time, it's like disheartening. Like I would have loved to have seen a Dark Horse label, like that would have been cool, and stuff like that. But these were the companies you went to if you were an indie creator. These were the companies that you were hoping to get your book out there to kind of become a name and then go draw X-Men or something like that later on in life. Now you don't want to do that at all.
yeah, no, and that's weird because I mean, think about it. I'm sure you even considered Valiant, right? Because some of the Valiant books,
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was in love with. I mean, you had Bloodshot and some other cool shit, right?
Yeah.
And I always felt like, the independent comics were where you found the cool gritty heroes, like the Batman that I remember and stuff like that. I just was like, this is good shit, and it just recently it went to shit. And you know why? Because those bitches. I'm gonna say this. That sounds really sexist. Because a group of people moved into those comics as the editor in chief, and they destroyed those brands. They killed them.
Yeah.
So that tells us that what we're doing over here is probably leading the way here.
You guys have been, and that's the thing. And I always tell people, I'm like, Comicsgate is our punk rock, and just like the YouTubers that are out there calling out the bullshit. There's going to be a shift. This is going to happen, and I'm not going to talk about it specifically, but you're going to see people. We're going to see like essentially channels on your smart TV that are these brands that you're familiar with on YouTube and other places. You're going to see the shift that the new Hollywood, the new creator, is this independent upstart, just like it was back when George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. It's hard for me to say his name because I'm mad at him right now. But when they show up,
are you mad at Steven Spielberg?
Don't get me started. But when they showed up in Hollywood, they were the upstarts. They were the kids. They were changing the way we looked at things, right? You had the guys that they tolerated, like Kubrick and a few others that they allowed to experiment and make amazing films, right? But they let these upstarts in the door with Spielberg and Lucas and a couple of others that changed the way movies were made. And we're on that cusp because stupidity breeds innovation. But there's going to be a new Hollywood. It's just not going to be in Hollywood, right? And hopefully it's not in China because, by the way, they took everything China had to offer, copied the shit out of them, took all of their best ways of operating and doing business, and they've taken it as their own, which is why you're not seeing as many China releases for films, which is why you're sorry, this is the business side of crap nobody's interested in. But it's sorry, that's what I do. But that's what's happening right now, internationally. That's what that. I mean, you're seeing China start to shift the market. There is so much desperation in Hollywood right now that the Eternals has a fucking Bollywood number in it.
Does he really?
Not explicitly. Okay, I need to be careful how I say that. I might get somebody in trouble.
Culture, you don't know that. I don't think anybody knows this here, but I'm a Bollywood fan. So
Okay, no, it's fine. I don't
so
want
I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I gotta go check this out now.
I'm not going to get people I know in trouble. So what I'm going to say is they did everything they could to get as many different cultures interested in that film as possible. And the two cultures they focused on are going to hold up a middle finger. Disney's fucked. They're fucked with Black Widow. They're fucked with Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. They're fucked with the Eternals. They could actually end up giving themselves the fist of love with the Spider-Man, and although it probably will be okay. And based on the rewrites and everything that happened as they finished wrapping up just a couple of months ago with Doctor Strange, I don't know. When I see some clips, I'll start to form a better opinion, but it didn't look good going in. That's all I have to say about it.
I was a little disappointed in the Doctor Strange movie anyway.
The new one?
The first
Multiverse of Madness. Oh, okay. Well, the Multiverse of Madness was going to look amazing. I mean, they're handing the keys to the kingdom over to Raimi. Shit, I can't say anything.
No, it's all right. I was just saying, like, I was just a little let down. I thought it was going to be a little different. The first movie.
Look, there were some extravagant plans for the film. I thought they did a pretty good job with what they were allowed to do. You have to remember you ended up with people disappearing off of these projects that were supposed to be there forever. They were supposed to be part of that side of things. Okay, Marvel was supposed to be divided into two sides underneath Feige. That is not what happened. They chased Gunn out of town, and even though he's back now, that's not the way things were going to happen. You had, and one of the reasons they brought in Raimi was to give you the darker edge at the end. It doesn't matter. This is shit nobody cares about. But it's just, it honestly is just what it. It's not the way it was supposed to be, but you know what? It suits them just fine because now they get to plug more message into everything they're telling you. Anyway,
right?
Wow, sorry. I talk too much. I'm gonna get somebody in trouble.
You're fine.
Just yourself.
No.
I mean, you don't name any names, so
I gotta be careful.
No.
Yeah.
Names.
Yeah. It's like all of this stuff is going this way, though. It doesn't matter. I mean,
you have look, Marvel.
I'm just ready for some like indie films to come out of like the fandom side or the rogue side.
Oh, dude, I'm working on it. My horror film.
Or games, like we need indie games too. I think You
We
know,
do. We have them. They're coming out. I mean, G&G had an indie game coming out. They've got another one on the way. You've got other people I know working on indie games. You have, well, obviously, I'm working on a horror film. I've got 2 other story ideas in the can. I'm working with 2 other creators right now in our sphere on an animated series that is going to get us in a fuck shitload of trouble. That is, well, seriously, it's like South Park meets fucking Beavis and Butthead. I mean, we're fucking toast when
Nice.
this thing comes out. We have like multiple episodes already like planned out. We actually meet every week to do a writers' room so we can get the episodes together. And we have an animator built in, somebody who worked in the actual games industry. There's stuff coming, guys. It's just my ultimate goal when I'm 50. By the time I'm 70 and I'm retired from the universe, I'm going to leave behind a production studio that is going to hopefully produce all this shit or stuff like it, because I don't want to live in a world where the entertainment we have is what we have at the moment, because it's just crap. Unless you go to the independent sphere, like Comicsgate and other places, it's garbage. It's garbage. And I'm surrounded by creative people. I've got Lola. I've got Jason. I've got 100,000 other people that I can reach out to. I've got Anna, that Star Wars girl. I've got that Umbrella guy who I honestly believe could make a great like detective comic series, that animated detective comic series. I think that it would be a valuable thing that you could sell to a more evolved version of Nickelodeon or somebody else. I think there's a lot there, right? And it doesn't take a lot. You need a good story. You need a good story editor. You need an overall concept, and you need a writer's room that just throws shit on the wall and goes. And they don't allow for that anymore. It's all driven by that stuff, by this agenda, the things that make us want to get mad about the stuff Lola wanted to talk about, which is chicks and dudes competing in the chick arena, which is not okay. And there's just all of us, the people that are here in the chat, the people that are on this panel, we live in reality, and we live in the real world.
Whoa, culture.
I know. Mescaline is your friend or whatnot. Actually, guys, what do you do now? You do shit.
Not mescaline.
Yeah. Mescaline's awesome, by the way. You guys get into this, what is MD shit?
MDMA.
Yeah, and other stuff. I'm like, all right, but there's natural shit that'll get you where you need to go. But anyway,
yeah, it's called weed.
Yeah, that also helps. But it's just, yeah. What was I saying? Oh, but that's the thing is there's plenty out there, and there's plenty of people to make it. And you know what? Fuck Hollywood. Fuck all these people. But anyway, it's great. Yeah, sorry, some person. I don't think you're right. The algorithm does not like me at all, or I would be at like fucking 1 billion fucking subscribers, like Jeremy of the Quartering or Geary, my buddy Geary of Neurotic, and other people. So I'm not. I'm weird.
No, it's just funny. Like you bring that up because like one of the great pleasures I have in life is when I'm at work and the Critical Drinker does his like live stream.
Oh yeah.
Because I get, it's busy, it's crazy at work sometimes, and it's insane. But I just bust up laughing at like him and like Az going off on a good movie or something, or him and Gary talking about like stuff like that. It just, it's a little bit of joy and that nostalgia that back when things were really good, and they're just talking about quality, and it's a little bit of joy in life,
But you're not the only person experiencing that, Jason. It's everybody, man. I mean, you and I are watching or listening to the same thing. I mean, I'm driving around town doing field work for my business, my company, or one of my other businesses, and and that's you experience pure joy. You're listening to other people talk about things that you have the same memories. There's this, and sometimes they'll bring something to the table that you're like, oh fuck, Jesus, yeah, you're right. That was that was amazing for a whole other reason.
Yep.
And dude. And you know what? You know what you can't do with today's modern entertainment? That
That, yeah.
can't do that.
I mean, there's a few gems, a few exceptions. Like I bring up nobody. Nobody was a
Nobody.
good
Yeah, I
movie.
knew you were, dude.
Yeah.
I hear you. Nobody.
Yeah.
Bone Tomahawk. All of
Yeah,
the
people
S.
talk about
Craig
that one.
Ziegler stuff. I mean, Zahler, excuse me. He is, dude. That guy working with Daily Wire. Can you imagine him and Gina Carano on a project? That's
There you go.
fucking insane.
Yeah.
There's an idea.
Yeah. Oh no, dude. I actually have. Okay, so I'm not gonna say it because I fucking somebody will steal my shit. But I have all these. I have these great ideas. And that's the thing is I was born in this world where ideas were king, right? Ideas were king. We don't have anybody with ideas, and that's why when people again, anybody who's out there, those of us here on this panel, not me, but the people with talent who have ideas who can make shit happen, I respect them more than anything else, because taking something from that point and making it real, you're no longer full of shit. You did it, and we can talk about that. Just, there are a lot of people full of shit in this world, but if you take your idea and you make it real, you've reached the pinnacle. You've reached it. I mean, that's why there are good billionaires, Elon Musk, and there are bad billionaires like fucking Bezos and Gates and fucking Facebook dickhead. And you got those fuckers stole from other people.
Yep.
Elon Musk doesn't. He fucking creates shit and then gives it away. You got good guys and bad guys. Right now, the world's populated by really fucking wealthy asshat bad guys. And we need to strip them down.
And this is why we need a cat.
Oh, fucking.
I have no idea why they're saying we need a cat.
Yeah, but some person, most of the time you're there.
Because cats are awesome.
No, dude, cats are half in, half out. That's the most
That's why
important.
they're awesome.
I learned that very specifically from Constantine. They're very important, and that's the only reason. They're half in, half out.
I learned it from Alf.
They'll eat you when you're dead. I'm sold right there. It's awesome.
Yeah, but right now in the state of Washington, you can become food. Just they're going to compost your ass, dude. So just be excited.
At least I'll be the meal for a furry little friend.
Oh, dude, Cavatino, I didn't know you were in here. Yeah, I'm awake. I've been awake for a bit.
And uncensored, apparently.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm using bad words. By the way, I don't curse. So you can tell when it's after hours and I'm not on my own channel because I use bad words. And I don't get
You don't cuss on your channel?
No, it's very rare. I did it this week because somebody got me really fired up.
Was it Spielberg?
Say again?
Was it Spielberg?
No, fucking Spielberg. No, no, it actually. No, I was on with Mad Mardigan. I did this show called Wednesday Live, where we take whatever the hot topic of the day is, and and I get pissed, and he gets, by the way, Mad Mardigan's a character until he gets into a stream like that when he becomes himself. He's an undervalued creator. There's a handful of people that I know they live a persona, and whenever they get real with you, that's when you realize how smart they are, and when they're genuine, you're like, God damn, dude, you're fucking smart, or chick, whatever.
I like his name.
By the way, I define people like dude. Dude to me is universal. So if I call you
it's
dude,
a universal term.
Yeah, like Lola, when I call you dude, that's a term of endearment. So,
yeah.
But ma'am.
Ma'am's rough, man. The boss. If I say ma'am to the boss, my fucking teeth get rattled. So no, thank you.
Well, she's in her 30s, but at work she hates ma'am when I call her it on purpose all the time, just to get her upset. But she hates it with a passion.
I always say my mama's the ma'am, not me.
Dude, yeah, we got some amazing people here. Eagle Riders in the house, dude. What's up,
Sheila.
Rosetta? Yeah. Anyway, I need to back out of here because I'm 1,000 and it's late. And old people who earn money, by running a few companies, they sleep
Well,
sometimes.
it's 20 to 4.
Oh no, fucking.
You say
Jesus.
you're what, 50?
Yep.
So have you hit old man syndrome yet?
Where I don't sleep much.
No. Where like if your wife takes you anywhere and like sits you down, you fall asleep.
No, I don't do that. Actually, my bio dad doesn't even do that. He's in his 70s, and dude is just like dude rocks the box, man. That guy is still playing fucking softball at a high level, and
Oh, wow.
he's hardcore, man.
That's cool.
I just want to be that guy when I grow up. By the way, he's actually going to be featured in my film as a
Cool.
older version of me because we look the fucking same. He's a lot of gray. Dude looks like fucking Santa Claus. Shit, not. But no. Yeah, no, I haven't done that yet. Where you fall asleep when you sit down.
Yeah.
Nah. The boss wouldn't stand for that, man. She's
She'd be standing over you with a cup of water. Like, wake up.
Nah, she's
Why
awesome.
not?
Yeah, no, I did well. And I always tell people, I'm like, you know what? Try to do well on your first marriage so you don't have the second one. And you know what? That's not dogging people with a second marriage because I'm a product of a broken home who they did pretty good on their second time around. But yeah. Anyway,
Sometimes you just gotta try. You just gotta try it a few times.
Actually, that's I think that's nowadays that's referred to as your starter marriage. So.
The first one's for love, the second one's for money, and the third one's for companionship.
Yeah, I think it's more like was the sex good? Anyway, I gotta go.
Thanks for coming on, Culture.
Your invitation is always well received, and I appreciate the opportunity to come on here and dominate the conversation for the last hour. Damn, just say, Culture, you're a dick. Yeah, I know.
That's all right.
But it's okay.
I wouldn't send you the link if I didn't want you to come on, man.
Yeah.
I thought it was
say hi to all my loved ones out there, including the people in the chat, but mostly the people that I know. And fuck, support everybody, guys. It's the most important thing you can do because otherwise we're gonna get overwhelmed by stupidity. And I you know what? Might as well just crawl in a hole in the ground if you do that. Anyway, I gotta go. Peace out. Love you.
Have a good one.
Bye, Culture.
Culture Casino. Betting on the Culture Casino.
I think you fell asleep.
Yeah, I was like, it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna just go watch TV.
I was able to get stuff in.
Hi, Billy.
Billy's here? Hey, Billy.
And
Yeah,
some person, cats are not more popular than porn. Sorry.
What?
Some person said cats are more popular than porn. That's
How
not
is that
true.
possible?
I know. It's impossible.
What, is that what you drew tonight?
No, I finished it up. Well, I gotta put in the background, but I need my ruler, and I can't do that at my computer. So I gotta finish this tomorrow. But this is a page for Absolute, because this is the dude that's in the first book, sitting in the chair, and with the stuff behind him and stuff like that. So, but I finished up the detail in him anyway.
Nice.
So I just add in all the crap that I need to use the ruler.
And see, that right there is why everybody should go and get Absolute too.
Aliens. Probe you.
You never warn me. You just like take it off, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, you're done. That's it. That's all you get. You get no more. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know.
Seth Nagin says the internet is for porn, damn it. Cats only read second.
Well, they're still up there, though. I mean...
Nothing.
Oh, speaking of which, my friend's band, I usually do all the artwork, but I guess they're having a couple other artists do stuff, which is fine. I'm working on a thing. But I'm drawing a thing about porn pretty much, and how like it just destroys everything. ambitions, so to speak. Quote unquote, your sense of
Wait. Say all that again. You're doing what?
Porn
my friend's
breaks your
band.
dick.
Yeah. My friend's band, they're doing a new album, and each song they're having kind of like a different artist draw something, and I'm drawing the porn one where it, like what Grimmer said. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, not every female can be a freaking porn star and like, ugh,
I think I've had this conversation before, like about how like porn like gives ideas that like that's how sex is supposed to be, but it's really not.
Right.
Like
I don't know how anyone, unless you're young, when you're like in your late teens, early 20s, that's the only way to me you could possibly think that's real. Like that's how it really is. Like that to me, that's the most unrealistic thing ever.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it's just common sense. Like, that's not how it goes.
Right.
At
It's an
all.
act. It's
Yeah.
to
they get
It's-
paid. Come on.
They get paid, and it's girls with daddy issues.
yeah.
So yeah, but like I've met men who think that way. They think that like I've had girlfriends talk about their husbands and like they have this idea because of porn that like this is how it's supposed to be, and that's not how it works in reality.
Sex is mainly meant for procreation, to populate the planet, so to speak.
No,
like,
Jason.
that's its main
No.
That's its main purpose. I'm
No.
sorry to break it to you, Lola.
That
I
is
know.
not its main purpose.
I know it hurts inside, deep down. Sometimes with 3 fingers, but
it just
still.
feels so good.
Yeah.
That's because if it didn't, nobody would do it.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
I mean, come on.
So yeah. So. I mean, yeah. There's. I mean, granted, I'm sure there are plenty of dudes out there that can perform in that aspect, or women out there that can do what they do as well. But that's not reality. That's not going to be the
I
scenario
thought women
majority of
didn't
the
do
time.
anything.
Well, sometimes they can make a good sandwich.
I thought they just lay there.
No, if you're lucky, they make you a sandwich while while you're
Sandwich.
getting yours. They make you.
Well,
one.
what do you think?
I don't give a fuck.
Dynamite dropping. He's not the best wingman for nothing. Where is? Will he? Probably. Oh, that's got to be an old comment.
Oh, Allie
Yeah.
has all this perfectly. What do you mean he has all this perfectly?
He's all this perfectly. Hmm.
Michael
Bancroft,
Bancroft
what's
had 2
up, man?
sandwiches today after complaining.
See?
But what kind of sandwich though? What's your favorite?
Well, from what I hear, the sandwiches that he gets aren't really sandwiches, according to Leroy. Anyway, I don't know.
Night
I think he
culture.
likes later culture. I think he likes like 80% vegetables and like 12% meat.
I mean,
the other
like,
stuff.
half the conversation you guys had was basically useless. Because I don't understand discussing things about people who hate you. Then don't buy it. And don't participate in it. And don't discuss it. You know what I mean? It just brings poison into your brain. What's the point? It's just boring. We have the same conversation on every stream. Like, every Comicsgate stream is, oh my god, look what they're doing. Oh my god, look what they're doing. It's like, then don't participate. Don't watch the porn. Don't watch the fear porn. Don't watch the movies that suck. Don't watch Black Widow. Don't watch Disney. Do something else.
Don't
Go work
stoke
out.
the fire.
Read a book.
Well, the other thing is, like, I'll use the Black Widow one. You don't know 100% if it's going to be good unless you do watch it.
Yeah, but who cares? I mean, we know it's going to
Well-
suck. It's from the Devil Mouse.
Yeah, but there's that 2%
The
chance
Devil
it
Mouse
might be
hates
good.
you. They hate your children. They're satanic. Don't watch them. Do your own shit. Your shit's better, Jason, anyways.
Well, I watched it with my mom, so I'm spending family time.
Yeah, your mother's far more interesting than anything the Devil Mouse puts out.
Yeah, well, she wanted to watch it. So
Well, your poor mother.
my niece, and
Well, there you go.
all
If you're
watched
spending
it.
time with your mother, then God turns bad to good.
Yeah, that's it was good because of that.
So that's good. That I'll endorse.
Time with your mother is precious.
Well, like I said, my niece was watching too, which is a rarity to be in the same room with her and her focused on something other than her phone. So
Here you go.
that was
Michael
good.
Bancroft's telling us about his sandwich here.
All right,
Toasted salami with thick melted mozzarella. What the?
that sounds pretty good, Bancroft. Not bad. Not
But
bad.
you said there was vegetables in there.
Usually, okay, I'm going off of Leroy here, all right, and he's not the most reliable, source.
But he has the sandwich Saturday.
Yeah, and Amanda B wins all the time. She's the sandwich queen. All hail Amanda B. Hail Amanda B. Yeah, that's a good sound.
Now I'm
Sandwich.
hungry.
Go make a sandwich.
Now I want a sandwich.
Well, you're a woman, so you might make a good one.
Yes. Having a vagina always helps.
When it comes to
Usually
sandwiches.
does with the sandwich. Not
Yeah,
gonna
with a
lie.
sandwich. Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Yes.
a person that cooks everything at my house because, I wouldn't trust my husband to boil water.
No,
And yes,
I learned.
Billy, Will's avatar is Jesus kissing Keanu.
It's Will kissing Will. Don't let it fool you.
It's hilarious.
He says that is precious.
Hmm.
So precious, Will.
What?
Billy said that's precious.
Oh, well, thank you, Billy. I'll see you tomorrow.
What's tomorrow?
When you like to know.
That's why I asked.
They have a
Because
date.
I would like to. Ooh. I'm jealous.
It's how I
Yeah.
surround myself with the creatives.
Billy's creative.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Billy's always creative.
I'm joking. I love Billy.
Oh, I'm not a creative.
Sometimes too much. Yes, you are. You shut your whore mouth.
I'm the other person on the panel. I'm not
Did you
creative.
say we were laughing too much?
Huh?
Oh.
No, I'm just tired, Allie, and bored.
Who's laughing too much? Somebody said that.
Tired and bored, that's nothing new.
Well,
I'm around
smirky
you,
tonight.
so that usually makes me tired and bored.
Mm. Yes.
Yeah. Well, we've been going about 2 hours, guys. I mean, we can call it here.
Well, yeah, it's almost. Well, yeah, it's 10 to 4, so I would like to get to bed soon.
Yeah, it's late over there.
Actually, and I have laundry to fold or put away, not stuff like that. So yeah, that'll be fun. That'll take like a half hour.
Sweet.
It is, isn't it? It is ever
Is it?
so glorious.
Right?
Although I got my Cecil shirt. I love that shirt. It's fantastic.
I saw that, man. That was awesome.
That shirt is so ridiculously stupid. It's great. Stuff like that makes me happy. It's so stupid.
But we've been going 2 hours now.
Yeah.
I'm yawning now. I guess it's time to call it a night, y'all. Jason,
Okay.
you sing us out, buddy?
When do I ever sing? What are you talking about?
You always sing!
I don't ever sing. When do I sing for Lola? I don't recall Lola singing a song with her booty.
Bye,